Hi and welcome. My name is Mikkel Spør, and I'm here to share with you this program which I've been contemplating and preparing for at very least the last half year and practicing, refining, I could say. And I feel like it is as close to being ready as it will ever be. It will still not be a perfected program. That is not in the spirit of this program. It is meant, as I have written in the description, that you can listen to it while you drive or while you walk. So you can do this sort of as an integrated part of your everyday. You don't have to get up an hour early and meditate. You don't have to do some specific. You just have to put on this audio file once every day at a convenient time. It could be while you shower. It could be while you take a walk. Or it could be some specific time you've set aside to listen to this. Of course, that would be, in some senses, more effective. But the point is, it's not necessary. And I've tried to make this in a way where everyone doesn't have to be completely educated in the principles of this esoteric metaphysics in order to use it. So, of course, a certain degree of education is necessary, and perhaps you are even more educated in this topic than I am. But I've made it very practical, very usable in terms of taking this knowledge and these principles and using them to actualize your heart's desire. So, without further ado, I will just get started on that. And best of luck. So before I delve deeper into this program, I will say that this is made, as I said, to be listened to every day. And once you are ready for it, you can move on to the next part. So I've divided it into the thought part, the emotional part, the action part, and the circumstances and relationships part. Which means that, and they are organized in this sort of order, because at first we have the sort of intellectual idea inside our head. We think, this is what I would really love that. Maybe you feel it, hopefully you feel it when you're inspired to it, but it might be out in your day. It's just something you say, sort of mechanical. But then as you start to believe it, it takes you into the next part, which is the emotional part. Then we get to talk directly to the emotions, learn to speak the language of emotions, how to put ourselves in a state that matches the state of our heart's desire actualized in our life. And once we do that rather well on a sort of consistent basis, we'll want to have sort of an expression of this new energy in our lives, and it will start quite automatically. But working with that will enhance, as Abraham Hicks pointed out, will enhance our the energy that is already going on. So it'll be stronger, it will be more powerful, and it'll be necessary to have some kind of outlet for this energy that you've started, for this desire that you've started to give energy to. And then as we start to act upon it, then the universe will start to react upon us and start to show you in your outer world that things start to happen. And you're going to find yourself with different things or with different people or different circumstances, depending on what your heart's desire is. So that is the order, the organization of this program. And I think it's so good. I have wanted to create this for many, many years and brainstormed upon it and gathered more knowledge, and it wasn't quite there. And now I feel like it's all all come together. So I'm very pleased to deliver this to you and deliver this to me. And hopefully you can apply it and use it in a way so that you can every day move toward your heart's desire. And as Earl Nightingale pointed out, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So if you go for your heart's desire, if you go for a worthy ideal, something that you think this is what I want to create, then and you're going to start giving energy to it, then it will become more and more actualized in your reality, in your life, and you're going to see it more and more. I've experienced this myself over and over again, and I think you will too. Yeah, so it is, and I've tried to do it, as I said, in a very easy way that can fit into your everyday life, and without you having to study it like if you were a teacher in this, but you can actually it's just applicable information just for your private purposes of whatever you want to actualize. And that also means that we will be listening to we'll do the exercise while listening in here. So I will guide you in the different exercises that this program entails. So let's get started for real this time. So before we get into what your heart's desire is, I would like to point out what a great way of living having a goal can be, and while it can have a positive effect upon your life. There are other philosophies that too can help create a very meaningful, good flow in your life, but I've seen this to be very something that certainly works. So if this is something that connects with you, something that talks to you, something that resonates with you, I suggest that you follow this philosophy, this way of doing things in your life. And it's the idea that sort of having a goal creates the journey. So they say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? But having a destination that you're excited about, that seems meaningful, important, exciting, fun, whatever it is you want to put into this life-giving, beautiful, whatever, just amazing. If you have a destination that looks like that, then your journey is going to be an amazing journey. It's going to decide what kind of journey you have to a large extent. And I'm going to describe to you why. So I will compare the journey of being a goal setter with and creating your heart's desire. I'll compare that to a fairy tale, a classic fairy tale. Now, I'm not a English major or anything like that, so it might not be literally the perfect description of a fairy tale, because I've not read that many classical fairy tales, to be honest. It's what I've picked up intuitively and from the fairy tales I've listened to as a kid and got read to me and in school and so forth. And that's the idea that a fairy tale starts out with someone who has a pure desire, like something that comes from inside. It's not a fake. It's never the fake person who's our hero. It's always someone who's pure at heart, who says what they want, and sometimes and oftentimes they're ridiculed for it at first. But they keep persevering with their heart's desire. And so they meet a certain respectable amount of resistance, either through ridicule or systems or a dragon or a sorcerer, or the nature itself can provide sometimes the difficulty. And always it is the overcoming of weakness inside of themselves and finding their own strength and their own authenticity and their own ethicalness that produce the result. You see, the thing is, if you didn't hold on to your heart's desire, if you didn't keep on giving energy to it and keeping it before you as you walk forward, having this as your purpose, having this as your driving force behind what you do, then meeting these obstacles, meeting a challenge like meeting a dragon could be something very traumatic. But it's like if you hold the idea in your mind while meeting these things, or generally, that's what you know, that's your purpose, and you generally give energy to it, right? Then it sort of transforms you like diamond being compressed very hard onto the earth into the diamond that you need to become in order to become an emotional match for what you desire. It is the basis of the law of vibration and the law of attraction, which states that whatever you are in vibrational alignment with, that's what you attract onto you. So if you attract, so if you hold on to an idea of where you want to go, you're going to start to sort of become a vibrational match to that. If you hold on to your desire, if you feed the desire enough. And so the challenges you meet in your life, whether you like them or not, the dragons you meet, the ridicule you might meet, or the hopelessness you might feel, or the lack of motivation, is exactly the kind of challenges that you need in order to become this vibrational match to your heart's desire. So the thing about seeing this as a fairy tale is sort of to get the heroic aspect of this out. Start seeing yourself as the hero of your own life, as they say, right? But this is not just some notion or some cliche that is being said here. It is actually something real and something applicable. Like if you start seeing yourself as this pure-hearted being, you found out what your heart's desire is, and it doesn't matter if it makes sense to anyone else, but you know this is what you want. And you start to move forward, then you're going to be the good hero of your story. And you're going to see the excitement of stepping into the unknown, and you're going to see with sympathy for your purpose, and also look with sort of toughness or with a positive mental attitude, where you see how the struggles are actually your stepping stones towards your heart's desire, because you know that not just directly it's going to be a stepping stone, but it's going to be a stepping stone by you becoming what you need to become in order to get there. So if there's something in your life as you start down this road that starts to challenge you in a new way, well, it's probably something that you need to overcome. And this is, of course, an emotional overcoming, but it's usually linked with some practicality, right? You see, the thing you attract into your life through the vibrational state you're in, see, there comes some energy into you based upon what desire you activate within yourself. And that activates certain beliefs within you. And those beliefs that you hold on to are based upon the topic at hand. So if you desire a romantic relationship, then those beliefs you hold about yourself and the world and romance in general will start to be activated within you. And so what you attract on the outside will be some version of this, some form of you seeing this, but at the same time with an opportunity to move toward your desire, because that's sort of the essence of what's coming to you. But it is distorted a little bit by your beliefs. And so as you start to get into this, you're going to compress yourself in a way so that your beliefs and your character and your being starts to become one with your desire. It's going to be like a pressure from the world, and the only way to overcome this, the only way to find a solution is to become one with your heart's desire, or to stop giving energy to it. Now, if you've committed yourself to your desire, if you know it is your heart's desire, and you know you like this way of living, then you're not going to give up on the desire. You're going to keep on giving it energy. Well, then it's the old habits and it's the old beliefs that's going to give way. So either thing is going to happen. Either your desire gives way, you stop giving energy to it and say, oh, I don't want it anyway. It's like the monkey and the fruit. If you can't catch it, it's probably sour, right? Or you know it's a good fruit. You know you want it. Even if it at times feel like you don't, but you know it. You have contemplated enough, so you continue, so you persevere. And you're going to start to form yourself, shape yourself into this vibrational match to what you need to become. And that, my friend, is the fairy tale. And it might not sound that romantic when said in terms of the law of vibration and the law of attraction, but it is nonetheless what happens. And I think it's a perfectly showed through that you go through your chest of gold or your princess or whatever it is you're looking for, right? And you meet your dragons and you get your help and your insight from your friendly godmother or whatever it is that you meet that gives you good advice, or you get this new insight, new wisdom, or whatever you get, more energy. You will get what you need, and you'll get the challenges you need. So everything in your life will become something that you need in order to move to your heart's desire. But more than that, even though it might be hard, even though you might dislike some of the challenges, you like the challenge because it helps you move there, and you know it's part of the adventure. And when you start to see your life in this light, there's a sort of glory, there's a sort of heroism that I would like to encourage you to start looking at yourself at and say, okay, maybe I do want to live like this. Maybe it is worth it. And that's actually one of my main points here. I've talked to Ironmaners. Some of them have been to the World Championships, and I've talked to Olympic athletes. And there's something about those people. They all say, you have this big goal or something you want to complete or a certain result you want to gain. And when you get there, it's always worth it. They all say it. And as I think it was Bob Proctor who was talked to an Olympic athlete who had been, he won the gold medal in the Olympics back in, I think it was 62. And perhaps it was Bob Mathias, 52. And he said he had been practicing for years and years, hours and hours of, bone-breaking exercise and really, really tough exercise. But when he stood there on the podium, he said it was worth every minute of it. And that might be seeming kind of strange, right? If you don't get this spirit of going into the unknown, being the pioneer, or creating something meaningful in your life, even if someone else has created it before. But you're the pioneer in your life. You're the adventurer in your life, right? That might seem very strange if you don't get that spirit. But once you start to catch that spirit, it will seem very meaningful because it was the adventure. It wasn't standing on the podium. Well, it was worth it just to stand on the podium, but he was driven. He was sort of, as Tony Robbins said, you were pulled towards it. You used pull motivation because there was something within you that wanted you to take that direction. It was truly your heart's desire. And therefore, when you gave energy to it, you were pulled towards that desire. So that's what he calls pull motivation, where there's sort of an infinite stream that just flows through you. And I think that's quite something special. And that's what makes things meaningful in a new and different way than it normally would be, probably. All right. So if you really get that, it's it's interesting, it's meaningful to live this way. Okay. Then I'm gonna just take it a bit further, and sorry. Oh, sorry. I was just getting the Genevieve B. Rand quote or paragraph down. I'll just close a few windows so we have more stable connection here. Okay. Hopefully that will help. Hopefully this will help create a more stable connection. But anyway, as I was saying, Genevieve B. Rand, she wrote this little piece in her book, Your Invisible Power, and it's about the order of visualization. And I think it motivates you to live in this way, perhaps more than anything, because it tells you about some of the benefits for it. So I'm just going to share that with you right now. Order of visualization. The exercise of the visualizing faculty keeps your mind in order and attracts to you the things you need to make life more enjoyable and in an orderly way. If you train yourself in the practice of deliberately picturing your desire and carefully examining it, you'll soon find that your thoughts and desires come and proceed in a more orderly procession than ever before. Having reached the state of ordered mentality, you're no longer in a constant state of mental hurry. Hurry is fear and consequently destructive. In other words, when your understanding grasps the power to visualize your heart's desire and hold it with your will, it attracts to you all things requisite to the fulfillment of that picture by the harmonious vibrations of the law of attraction. You realize that since order is heaven's first law, and visualization places things in the natural element, or in the natural order, then it must be a heavenly thing to visualize. Everyone visualizes, whether they know it or not. Visualization is the great secret of success. The conscious use of this great power attracts to you multiplied resources, intensifies your wisdom, and enables you to make use of advantages which you formerly failed to recognize. So I'm going to just point out a few things that Genevieve here talks to us about. Number one, your life out at you and your thoughts start to have a certain order to them once you have a goal that you continuously give energy to. You have a vision, you have an idea of what you're trying to accomplish, and you see it inside. Because you keep going in the same direction, and the universe is going to keep putting you on in the same way. Let's say you're traveling somewhere, but you continue to change destination. It's going to be less orderly. It's going to be less clear what is coming to you. It's going to be less consistent, and there's going to be less of this sort of building upon last day's work and having the motivation for the same things day in and day out, so that you continue your work and you finish the work generally more than you otherwise would, because you actually you hold the same vision, and therefore the same challenges make sense for you to work with, and the same projects make sense for you to complete. While if you change it, then you might have energy on one project, you're going here, but then you start giving energy to this. Oh, then you start to going in that direction, right? And so forth. So there's a certain order to your thoughts and your life, and things are gonna make sense to you in a different way. It's gonna be exciting and fun, and you're gonna go into new grounds, by the way, into new places, mentally and physically. And then you're going to be in a wonderful vibration. She said, since order is heaven's first law, and visualization brings things into natural order, then it must be a heavenly thing to visualize. Okay, so you're going to be in such a wonderful vibrational state by practicing this consistently. And you're going to attract whatever you need in order to make your life more enjoyable. This means just practicing this and being this kind of state will not only attract what you desire and your heart's desire, but it's going to put you in a vibrational state that attracts to you whatever you need to make life more enjoyable. And you probably don't even know what it is. So it's not just this thing that is going to come that you say, this is my heart's desire. But probably if you had to make a list of 30 other things, most of those things that you desire would probably come to you also as a consequence of going for the most important, the most central one for you. So don't think that you are neglecting your family, or you're neglecting your business, or you're neglecting whatever by having a certain desire. Possibly you are actually helping that part too by giving first and foremost energy to this, because by the growth that you go through, those other things are going to be taken care of. Like if you have kids, even if you're away for a month, of course that can be a long time when they're young, but in the long run they're probably going to be more inspired by having you being the best version of you. Of course, I'm not saying you should not years at a time not see them, or not just overwork yourself, not at all. But I am saying that, let's say you want to, your goal is to climb Mount Everest, and if you go away for a month to try and accomplish that, that might be very exciting, and they might be very exciting for them and very memorable for them. Their dad or their mom climbed Mount Everest, and they remember you practicing for it, and they remember the energy, and they want to become someone who achieves something, and they start to know that they can do whatever they set their mind to, because you're such an inspiration to them, and you're nice to be around because you have a nice energy, and you are sort of, as Genevieve Rain said, your best self, because that's what she said. You're going to realize soon enough that what you most need is consistently to be your best self. So that was some of the points here of, while it makes a whole lot of sense to be a goal achiever, what it gives us, why it's such a wonderful thing. And so, as Charles Hannell said, in slightly a different context, but the principle holds, that if we really want to use this, first of all, we want to listen to this over and over again, this part that I just mentioned, so that we start to know on a subconscious and an emotional level and an intuitive level, we think, oh, this makes a whole lot of sense to live like this. So you automatically start to do it. And therefore, following that logic, we're going to start to see ourselves as a goal setter, as an adventurer. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to affirm it to you, and you're going to listen along, and you're going to sort of start to see yourself as a goal setter, as an adventurer, if this is a way that you want to live. Of course, it's not that dramatic that something happens by you hearing the words, if you're listening it through the first couple of times. But if you continue to listen to it over a month at a time, then you're going to start to see yourself as a goal setter and start to act upon it. So it's for you that we're doing this. It's for you who actually want to use this to create greater results in your life and actually live this, not just have it be an interesting theory that you learned about at this course. So follow along. I am a goal setter. I am an adventurer. I am a goal setter. I'm the hero of my life. I am a goal setter, and I step into the unknown. I am a goal setter, and my life is a magnificent adventure. I am a goal setter, and every day is exciting and fun for me. I am a goal setter, and I continuously grow into the person I need to become to attract my heart's desire. I am a goal setter, and my life is a magnificent adventure. I am a goal setter, and all parts of my life becomes better as a result of it. I am a goal setter, and every day and every way I'm getting better and better. I am a goal setter. I am an adventurer. I am the hero of my life. Very good. So that was our affirmations. That was our starting to think from this position. Now I'll just quickly step over. It might lag out for a bit. So the next part here is your heart's desire. And I can't wait to give it to you. So listen on to the next video here and find where we actually take this knowledge and we put it to use by actually finding out what your heart's desire is and why that is such a magnificent and great step towards doing this. This is all part of the part one thoughts. The first videos here are all within the thought part. So just listen to them all through in order. I'm just going to take a break here so that it doesn't become a 3-hour long video and you have to clip around. You can just move to the next part and see where you've come to. Thank you so much for listening in, and good luck with being the hero, the adventurer of your life.